Welcome back to the Diamond Show. So today we're gonna talk about Bloom and L-glutamine. It's super trendy everywhere, especially on TikTok, a little bit on Instagram, but I have gained thousands upon thousands of followers on TikTok because of my journey with Bloom and L-glutamine. So I figured I'd make a long, extensive video about my whole journey, how I liked it, what I liked, what I didn't like, and so forth. So let's start off with what is Bloom and what is L-glutamine. So Bloom is a super green type of superfood. It's like powdered up greens, if you will. But to give you word for word of what it is based off their website, Bloom is greens and superfood that contain probiotics, digestive enzymes, and antioxidants. It reduces bloating, aids in digestion, and increases natural energy. Now, L-glutamine, it's a supplement, but it also can be found in our bodies and in our foods that we take every single day. Most people take it for fatigue after they work out or just to help them build protein because it's a protein base. The word for word of what it is and its benefits are: it helps support and build protein. It can help with gut function, immune system, leaky gut, and in some cases, regulating menstrual cycles. So for my journey with taking Bloom and L-glutamine, I actually really liked it. I think that the only thing that I was kind of weary of in the beginning was when I first took them both, I was like super hyper, like type of hyper. And it really made me nervous. Like, it made me nervous in the beginning. It was just for one day. After that, I was fine. So I ended up separating the two. I tried a bunch of different methods so that it worked best for me, but ultimately I ended up going back to taking them early in the morning with my breakfast, separately but back to back. I personally do feel like I had a little bit more energy than I normally do. I also take like daily vitamins, B12, chlorophyll, so I take a lot of different supplements at once. So when I added these in, I did feel like, oh, something a little different around here. I think the hardest part about the journey was just kind of being consistent. Like, I had so many people on TikTok that were following my journey, so it wasn't like I could just slip through the cracks, you know? Because sometimes you get tired, you're like, I don't really feel like doing this today. But I'm like, you know what, you gotta do it. So even if I forgot to take it in the morning, I would take it like right before I went to bed, right before sleep, so I knew that like at least I can count this as a day. Another thing that I thought was pretty interesting was like, y'all, when I tried to drink that, liquor does not go well with L-glutamine and Bloom. Like, I'm so serious. So I'm a very lightweight when it comes to alcohol. I am not one of those girls that's like, yeah, bottles. I'm just not her, okay? I respect her.
I don't know what you mean by, hey Siri,
Siri is the feds. Anyways, so I'm not like, you know, against the girls that are like bottles on bottles, but I'm also not that girl. I'm literally a two-shotter. 2 shots and I'm done for. That's it. That's all I need to get the party going. You know what I'm saying? But I drank liquor when I was taking Bloom and L-glutamine, and I felt so heavy, guys. So the first time I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is about. Feels very different from what it normally feels. I barely got like hangovers. I would just kind of be tired and feeling like drained, but I felt really stuck. So I'm like, okay, just take my electrolytes, drink a lot of water, get back to it, you know. And I had taken BC powder too, so I was kind of really weird. And then I drank again with my friends like the next weekend, and I just felt horrible. Now I have a large following on TikTok, so some of the girls were commenting like, oh, like they were throwing up and they had all these different issues. I personally didn't have that, but I did feel super duper drained. So I will say, like, if you are taking these supplements and you are interested in like going out and kicking it, just be very mindful. Drink lots and lots of water, because that feeling, it wasn't a fun feeling. Like, I literally felt like I couldn't do anything for the day, like just soaking. That's what it felt like. Now, my theory with that is it happens because our stomachs are getting healthier. So L-glutamine is primarily focused on gut health, so it's cleaning out the stuff in there that shouldn't be up in there, you know? And Bloom has all these different probiotics, so they're both working together to get your system together. And I think like now, alcohol, especially if you don't drink it all the time, it's probably like, what you doing up in here? Who is this? You know, they're getting ready to battle. And I think that's why it was like such a shock to my system, because my system was like, no, like we're cleaning house and we don't need homegirl up in here. The liquor has to go. So yeah, that's another piece of my journey that I thought was pretty interesting, and I wasn't upset about it. I just thought, okay, this is really good because I'm getting super healthy to the point now my body's like rejecting things that shouldn't be there anyways. So I mentioned earlier that glutamine has sometimes been helping women with regulating their menstrual cycles, and it did do that for me. I will say that. I have like a very, not wild cycle, but like the days have been varying. And with L-glutamine, like I had no cramps, no headaches. I usually get migraines. It was just beautiful. Now that was regular L-glutamine. What I discovered when I switched to blueberry L-glutamine is that I did have one cramp. And when I say one cramp, I mean one cramp, and that thing was sharp. So I immediately just, the next 2 days, I only took the regular L-glutamine because I'm not about to play with them. Now that I've been put on to the L-glutamine game of regulating my menstrual cycle, I won't be going back. You won't catch me with no cramp. So I thought that was pretty cool. Throughout this journey, so it was a 49/50 day journey because I took like a little bit on the 50th day. But I ended up running out of bloom, y'all, because I spilled it on the floor everywhere. And I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Of course, who expects to drop their stuff? But anyway, so I dropped like almost 1/3 of it, or maybe 2/3 of it. It was a lot, to the point where like I had to end the challenge 10 days early. But anyways, so during the challenge, I took coconut for 28 days because I ran out of coconut for bloom, and then I did mango for bloom for the remainder of that time. And I really like mango. Mango tastes good. I will give it that. Coconut bloom is disgusting. I wouldn't even do that to my worst enemy. Don't get that. If you're gonna try bloom, go with mango. That's the only flavor I would recommend. I haven't tried berry. People said that one was good. Some people said it was too sweet. But I will say, if you do coconut, you can definitely mix bloom with a water. You can mix it with water only, or smoothie, or juice. So you have a variety there. Now, if you're getting L-glutamine, you can only mix that with water. And if you get regular L-glutamine, it's gonna taste like medicine. I'm sorry. It's not good. Not good at all. But I will also say that L-glutamine regular with a lot of water, more than the 6 to 8 ounces, you can barely taste it. Just let it sit for a little bit until it's clear, and then you'll be good. But blueberry L-glutamine, chef's kiss. It's so good. Like I would literally go to war for that. That's how good it is. I'm so serious. Like, once you try it, you'll believe me. But anyways, they also have fruit punch. I'm not the biggest fan of fruit punch, but it did taste good. So I will give them that. The flavor one tastes way better than the regular one. But personally for me, because my cycle was kind of like a cramp after I had already took it away with the flavor ones, I will be rotating them moving forward. So let's get into pros and cons. Pros, I will definitely have to say, my period being regulated, that was a big pro. I love that one. Not gonna cap. I had less soreness after I worked out, which was really nice. Because sometimes I'll have soreness to the point where like I can't really work out for another day. Like I have to skip 2 days and then work out. Because I really work hard when I work out. I don't like to leave and not feel like I'm sweating, That's just me personally though. But it did help with soreness to the point where like I wasn't sore after any of my workouts when I started taking both of them. So that was pretty cool. I had better energy, more focused on the things that I had to do instead of just like procrastinating a lot, which is what I normally do. I'm a super organized person though, so I don't really understand where procrastination can find its way through the door, but it does. But with this, I do feel like I was like, once I started something, I just kept going with it because I had the energy there and it wasn't time to be lazy. One con I would have to say is that sometimes I feel like I had too much protein in my system. So L-glutamine is the base for protein. It helps build protein. And because I'm a vegan, a lot of the foods that I eat already have a bunch of protein in them. And then I was taking protein shakes on top of it because somebody recommended it. And I don't recommend that. When you take too much protein, your skin has like a small little breakout. Like you can see like little small bumps. I personally didn't have that, but I just started feeling like I had way too much in my body. Like I'm really in tune with my body, so I can tell when something is off, and I just feel like someone right when I was taking it. So I wouldn't recommend taking a protein shake and taking L-glutamine and taking bloom. I think that's just an overload for your system, especially if you're taking like other supplements already. Aside from the hyper thing in the beginning, like when I first started, I don't think a con exists outside of like having to be consistent with taking them, because I get very busy and most people have lives and different priorities that they have to take care of. So at some points I'm like, God, Lee, I gotta take this. I still gotta take this stuff. I ain't take it today. And you have to drink a gallon of water when you take it too. Like, I just recommend that personally. Everybody should be drinking that every day. But I just feel like I had so much water in my system because I was taking them and really still trying to find time to make a gallon in per day. So I think that's another con too. Some advice that I would give for people who are interested in taking Bloom and L-glutamine is, if you do take L-glutamine in powder form, make sure you half it. Don't take the whole scoop. Don't be a trooper. I get it. Everybody else is doing it, but it sometimes may not work good for you, and it may be an overload for your system because it is 5 grams. So just be very careful and test things out in small increments. Doesn't have to be the whole cup to begin with. Build yourself up so that you know for sure that you're not overwhelming your system. Drink that 1 gallon of water per day, and don't you skip that gallon, okay? Drink it. Another piece of advice is, don't expect your journey to be the same as somebody else's. For example, some people did not work out at all, but they got some amazing results. And I mean like amazing. Whereas people like myself, I worked out 3 to 5 times a week. I was consistent in the gym. I didn't lose a lot of weight. I only lost 3 pounds. Now, granted, I didn't want to lose weight. I was really just trying to tone my stomach, so I got what I wanted out of the situation. But if you're expecting to just lose pounds and drop them without getting a formula that works for you specifically, you may be in for a rude awakening. So just don't set yourself up for that. Go into it with an open mind, see what works best for you, make adjustments, and then go from there. Last but not least, I have to recommend this like 100 times. Please do your own research. So during my journey, I was making a lot of posts on TikToks and a lot of videos, and people would be commenting and saying things that they hadn't done research on. And granted, I'm not upset at those people. I totally understand. You see one thing and you kind of just go with it sometimes these days. But it would cause a panic for other people, and I would have to do the research and clarify, because some people would be like, oh my God, I don't want to do that because I heard this or I heard that. But really do your own research. I personally have had the best journey. This is not a sponsored video. It's just my own personal journey and things that I went through. And had I listened to other people and not done my own research, I would have never gotten the abs that I have been struggling to get. So please, please, please do your own research and make sure that you consult with your doctor. I know a lot of people online that are like, oh, these are great for you. Take these herbs, take these vitamins, take this, take that. And they might be awesome. They might just be exactly what you need. Or they can disrupt your system in a way that you've never felt before. So that's why I just said consult your doctor, because you just really never know. I hope that helps. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. And I am always here to help and always excited to give you guys some feedback. So yeah, love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.